What is up, everybody? It's Grim here. I hope you're all good this fine day. And if you had a bank holiday weekend, I hope you made the most of it and enjoyed yourselves. Now, first up, I want to get this out there straight away. Spoiler alert. Yeah, we're going to be talking about 6.2. We're going to be talking about the intro quest to Tanaan Jungle, and we're going to be talking about Tanaan Jungle itself. So if you're not interested, you want to save yourselves for when it's actually released, then by all means, please click off this video. I don't want to ruin or spoil it for anybody, so just click off and wait. Okay, you gone? Okay, they're gone. So, those of us that are left are obviously ones that are kind of interested in finding out a little bit more. Now, bear in mind, most of the information for Tanaan Jungle is out there. If you want, go to Wowhead, who are obviously the governors when it comes to information, or MMO Champion, whatever your preferred is, and they have got like every minute little bit of details. What we're going to be talking about in this video is not necessarily details. We're going to be talking about gut feeling and personal opinions and that sort of thing. Alright, as you would expect. Now, I will try and cover both sides, but obviously, you know, you can't be impartial when it's your own opinion. So let's crack on with this. So as you see, this video, this 15 minutes long. I apologise for that, but this video is basically the point until you get your base. Okay, it's from building your first ship all the way up until founding our forward base in Tanaan. Now, as you can see, beta v beta, and some of the cinematics and some of the things that happen in it might be a little bit glitchy, a little bit like, what the fuck? Yeah, guys, just take it with a pinch of salt. Betas are always a little bit dicey, and this is no exception. So you'll see here, I just thought something cool's gonna happen, and then like that appears in the corner, lions, and I'm like, obviously something's going on that I'm meant to be seeing, and I can't, so I'm just gonna skip it. Let's not worry about that. Now, let's crack off with what's happening in the actual intro scenario, or quest line, whatever you want to call it. And that is, you saw in my previous video, we've built our docks. Now, I'm not sure if, since building that, they have phased it now, so you have your own personal docks. As you can see, there's nobody else here with me. And before, when I've done this, there was loads of people. Now, that may be timing. It may be the fact that when I recorded this, it was early in the morning and not many people were on. Or it may be that it's just the fact that they phased it now and that's why it's working for me. I'm not entirely sure. But yeah, finally I can build ships and I can actually click on them and it all works, and I can come and see Khadgar, and Khadgar can tell me we're good, we've got our ship, now we can go and invade. Excellent. The Drakk's coming with us, so we can click here. Let's go, Drakka, let's go, 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 go. And we phase, there's our big boat. I'm hoping they're going to give us some horde ships. That looks very alliance-y to me. Just saying. Where's all my spikes? Come on, Blizz. Where's my spikes? But we'll soon see. To see if they change it. And then, completely unopposed, you land in Tanaan Jungle. I was expecting a little bit of a naval battle. I was expecting something. Maybe along the lines of, if you guys have done it, for you guys that haven't boosted, the intro bit when you do Vashir. When you do that zone, you get this whole, you go along, you go, I'm sailing, and your boat sinks, and it's all a bit crazy. I was expecting something along those lines, but it's not. You literally just turn up at the docks. And I was kind of a bit disappointed with that. I thought, okay, really? Did we destroy the Iron Horde that fast? But along the way, you find out, you pick up bits of information, and you kind of find out what's going on. And that is that, although the Iron Horde in name is still a thing, a lot of the Orc clans are basically like, you know, we're not going to go against the Iron Horde, but we got to take care of our own shit, okay? We got to look after ourselves in this, because the Iron Horde's kind of lost, they're getting their asses kicked. Gul'dan's a crazy motherfucker. So, although we're not going to go against them, we're kind of gonna do our own thing as well. So, whereas from all of the outposts, if any of you know, when the Roman Empire collapsed, it slowly shrunk in on itself. It came in, pulled people away from, obviously, from Britain, and they slowly collapsed in on itself as they wanted to protect their borders and try and look after themselves. That's what's happened here with the Iron Horde. They've pulled away. So the docks that we landed at, they had a big garrison there. They pulled that garrison back, and they've literally, all of their forces now are concentrated on Hellfire Citadel. What you see here are scavengers. Okay, they're Orc clans that have sent out guys to go and loot the armories and things like that. They're trying to look after themselves. They're still part of the Iron Horde, but they want to look after their own interests as well. So they're off grabbing anything they can find that isn't nailed down and stealing it. So that's why you see these guys. Now, On a side note, this area may seem slightly familiar. Obviously, we've been to Tanaan before. Because of the whole starter intro quest, we destroyed the Dark Portal, and that kind of stuck us here. I say that with air quotations in lore. You know, we're meant to be stuck here with Khadgar, even though we can Hearthstone anytime we want. And that is because, and I didn't know this until I actually got there, you're actually in the starting zone. This is where you first started out. You've gone full circle. And you will see you come out... later on, you've got to go and meet the scout once you've got all this information. And when you're in this big kind of paved area, when you actually look around, you realise that's the spot that the huge cannon, the huge artillery piece was sat on, that you destroyed the Dark Portal with. And when you look, you can actually see the destroyed Dark Portal. So that was pretty cool. It's nice that you land. You, as I say, you've gone full circle. I kind of like that. Very cool. Now, the rest of it's pretty generic. It's, you know, destroy some cannons, and eventually you'll get to a point where you can found your garrison. Now, I had people running around my garrisons. I'm not sure if that's intended. Again, like the Iron Docks, I'm not sure if beta's just being beta and it's fully intended that kind of everybody shares it and it's going to become a hub. Not quite sure, because you don't actually select a building. You'll see it at the end of this video, but you don't select any buildings. So it may well be that it's a communal hub that everybody has access to, and we all run around, we all see each other, like Ashran, rather than your garrison, where it's a personal thing that you build stuff. You don't actually build anything in your garrison, in your forward base. I'm just going to call it your Tanaan garrison, guys. You don't actually build anything. What happens is you go and talk to a goblin, and you say, "Okay, dude, I need you to bring my equipment up with me." And he'll go, okay, but I can only do, you know, I can only bring so much equipment. What do you need? And then along the way, so at the very beginning, when you do, if you're doing Frostfire or you do Shadow Moon, you get the garrison ability, which gives you, you know, barracks, which gives you the troops. So you can summon troops to fight for you. Then as you go through the zones, you get various different abilities. So for instance, you may get the artillery strike, or you may get the guardian orb, or you may get the mech shredder. You get these various abilities as you go along from zone to zone. When you get to your garrison in Tanaan, you can basically talk to this guy and say, okay, I want to bring this with me, and that becomes your ability for Tanaan. So I selected the Guardian Orb. I had the option of the Guardian Orb, the Barracks ability, or my Mech Shredder. So basically you get an option of one of the things that you've selected along the way, which is pretty cool. I like that. It's a shame they didn't add a little... So I was expecting a new ability or something to happen, a new building, but there doesn't seem to be one. It may be when you go along through the quest line a little bit more and there's a new building, but at the moment certainly there isn't. You basically build your garrison, pick what ability you want to bring with you, and then it's a case of, okay, now go meet the guys a bit further up. So that's cool. Now that's all I've done in Tanaan. I've literally done the intro bit. I intend to do a little bit more just to see the world of Tanaan, but we'll put that to one side now, because the next part I want to talk about is Tanaan itself and what Blizzard have got planned for it and quite how it's going to play out. So let's dive straight into it. Whew, let's dive straight into it, and that is Tanaan, to me, from the information that's been released on Wowhead, MMO Champion Net, and I will put links down below, guys, so you can go straight to them, because they are the governors when it comes to information. And hey, that's where most of us guys get it from, you know. We're no different. Just because we make YouTube videos doesn't mean, you know, I get a phone call or any of the big YouTubers, you know, because I'm a nobody in the world of YouTube, but any of the big YouTubers, they don't get a call from the guys at Blizz saying, hey, this is what we got planned. They go to MMO Champion and Wowhead like everybody else. So I will put a link to those guys down below. Tanaan Jungle, from what I've read, from what I can see, is very much Timeless Isle 2.0. That's what I've read, that's what I see it as so far. There's going to be, once you've sort of done all this intro stuff and that's all out the way, it's going to be very much rare spawns, jumping games, lots and lots of activities. It's going to be like a big playground, and I don't mind that. That may be a shock to some people, because, deep breath, I hated with a passion the Timeless Isle, because Blizzard knew fine well what it was, and that was a time sink. It was basically just an area where you would lose hours and hours and hours. It was like, okay, look, we're not going to make any, you know, good new content. We're not going to do anything cool, no funky new zones or anything like that. We're not going to push the envelope. What we're going to do is create a zone that basically just has a load of fucking rares on. We're going to, you know, so you guys can download, you know, spawn timer add-ons and basically just run around farming, doing daily quests over and over again to get tokens. Yeah. It's a time sink, and that's all Timeless Isle was. And people did it because there was so much cool gear you could get from there. All about the gear. It was an easy way of gaining items. I mean, Jesus, the first thing you do on that island is run around opening crates that are going to give you epic gear. Is that really how we're giving people epic gear? I love that, as far as I'm aware, Blizzard have not done that with Tanaan Jungle. They've taken the good parts, they've taken the things that kind of worked, that people liked from from Timeless Isle, and they've taken away the stuff people didn't. So, hey, epic gear. You're not going to be able to run around Tanaan opening up crates, getting epic gear, as far as I'm aware. But they've added in things like mythic dungeons. Could they have gone further on mythic dungeons? Yeah, of course they could have. They could have given us, you know, new abilities and whatever else. But at least they're making us still work for that gear, and that's what I like. I don't want you to hand me, you know, epic. If I went around Tanaan and opening up crates that had they could have called it an Iron Horde weapons cache, and it gave you a 685 weapon or 685 armor. I don't want that. I want to be able to earn it. That's the whole point. Why do you think people raid? Why do you think they do, you know, PvP? They want to earn their rewards. It takes away so much from the game when you just hand somebody a bit of gear. So, oh, great. Cheers for that. So I'm glad they haven't gone with that. But it would appear what they have taken from Timeless Isle is very much the idea of rares. There's going to be loads of rares dotted around the place that you can kill. So expect to see, you know, if you're in Tanaan, I don't know, respawn on such and such, 3 minutes, or such and such has respawned, such and such is now dead. You're going to see tons of that, exactly as you saw in Timeless. So, you know, be prepared. If you hated that aspect of it, be prepared. I didn't mind that. I actually liked the idea that you could go around and farm these mobs, and, you know, I had no issue with that. At least you had to kill something to get your reward, and it was something, you know, kind of interesting to do. As I say, the bits I didn't like were, you know, easy-handed to you loot. I don't like that at all. You know, oh yeah, basically spend loads of time here grinding, get coins to buy decent gear. Well, that's not cool. I imagine that will be back in some fashion. You know, there'll be some way of picking up stuff. But also, we've got things like Fell Blood that's being dropped now, and that's being dropped from everything. So you do skinning, you do anything like that, you're going to get Fell Blood from this place, which is pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And that's kind of replacing the Savage Bloods that you can get. So, quite what will happen to Savage, I don't know. This is kind of, I think we've reached the point in this expansion where I like to say it's the tipping point now. I think it's going to be pretty hard for anybody that's coming into the expansion now to be able to catch up. So, for instance, I joined Mr. Pandara 3/4 of the way through, halfway through, which is where I think we are now. I think we are halfway to 3/4 of the way through this expansion already, and it's very hard for people to catch up. And I think the flipping of going from Savage Bloods onto the Fell Bloods, I think is that point. It's going to be very hard for anybody new to come in and catch up. Not impossible, but I think it will be pretty rough. I mean, Jesus, even just trying to get all the elemental ruins will be pretty rough for people if they haven't done it before. But there's always going to be that point in WoW. There's always going to be that point in an expansion's life that people just can't catch up. And that's the nature of the beast. If you played from the beginning, you're going to be fine. If you're joining halfway through, you're not. But prep for the next one. You know, that's how it goes. But Tanaan overall, I am kind of excited with. I'm kind of looking forward to... I'm hoping, here's hoping, that they've taken all the good things that worked for Timeless Isle, all the fun aspects of it, and they've brought it into Tanaan. So they've made it like a level 100 playground, where there's going to be lots of things for us to do, lots of things to explore, you know, and to get a sense of achievement when we've done them. And they've taken out all the shitty grind stuff. Now, I know they won't, because, hey, if there's a grinding aspect to it, we keep playing, we keep paying subscriptions. So I understand they can't take the grind out completely, but I'm hoping they've at least eliminated, you know, a vast majority of it, and they've made it more about the fun side of it. They're more about the enjoyment of going to Tanaan and, you know, finding these cool little things that we don't normally know about. Before people go grim, that never happens, because a YouTuber or Wowhead or an add-on will tell us where all the cool things are, so we can just go and camp them. I know that. I'm a romanticist. I like the idea of going and exploring a new zone. It's kind of why I like betas and I like PTRs. You get to see something before, you know, all of the, you know, websites and the add-ons can ruin it for you. But anyway, guys, that's my first look at Tanaan. We're going to have more later on. But that's it for now, guys. Catch you later. Have a great one.